Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome to F1 Manager 23 Hardcore Series. Tonight, it's round 7 of Season 5. We are going for the crown jewel. We are going to try and win Monaco. And we're coming off the back of a fantastic result in our previous Grand Prix at Imola. We went to a very comfortable 1-2 in the end. And it has certainly helped close the gaps in the Constructors and the Drivers' Championships. As you can see, we are just 8 points behind Red Bull now in the Constructors. Very, very close indeed. And in terms of the Drivers' Championship, Oscar is now just 3 points behind Max Verstappen. Mick in 4th is closing in on Charles Leclerc. He's just 5 points behind him. So it's looking good as things stand at the moment. However, we do know that the Red Bulls have not yet changed their engines. They might do that tonight. And if they do, that will certainly make them a lot quicker than they were at Imola. So we shall have to see how that goes. Let's check our inbox before we go any further. Car inspection. We do have to replace the underfloor. We did make a spare underfloor just for that situation there. So there we go. The wings on Mick's car are going to break after this Grand Prix. And also on Oscar's as well. We've got plenty of spares for those. We do have a new underfloor design that is 4 days away from completion. That'll be ready go into manufacturing on the day of practice. So we'll get that started before we do the weekend itself. We've got another spare suspension on the way, as you can see as well. And then we've got 3 different research projects going through at the moment as well. Let's check our facilities before we go any further as well. Let's see. Everything in here is looking pretty good. Suspension simulator will break at some point in the next month or so. We have got an upgrade going through on our car part test centre. That is still 41 days away. Into our staff facilities, everything here looking pretty good. And into our operational facilities. Got a couple that are getting a little low. The memorabilia room and the helipad. The weather centre is fine for at least another month, if not more. Before that, we'll need a refurb / upgrade, and the boardroom refurb will be done in 3 days. So looking all good in that respect. As far as our confidence with the board, as you can see, they were delighted with Imola. We have high confidence with them. Objectives for last season were completed in style, and we are on target, comfortably on target right now to finish in 2nd this season to match our current objective. And we just have to remove that last cost cap break from last year from there to get a complete no debt breakdown on our monthly summary. That's all looking very nice right now. Let's have a look at our F2 driver talent recommendation. Armin Jimenez. Let's have a look. 19 years old, 72 rated. Got a scout available. Let's take a look. We've got all of our scouts available actually. We haven't done any scouting for a while. Let's have a look at some more up and coming drivers. Looking at the younger drivers. There will come a point when we'll need to hire a replacement for Ollie Behrman. Yeah, I think that is as good as we're going to get there. Were we looking at replacing someone this year? We were looking at the possibility of replacing Alan Permain at the end of the season. I think we've already scouted out who we want to look at for that. Oh yeah, we scouted out everybody. Look, Jonathan Wheatley will be out of contract at the end of the season. Ron Meadows has now overtaken him, and he is open to negotiation. So, might be looking to sign Ron Meadows next year. Let's mark him. Oops. And him. They are the primary targets. I don't think there's anything else to scout. Got one scout left. Let's take a look at race engineers. How you doing, Daniel, Victor, Oliver, and Baron? Good to see you all. Let's take a look at Stuart King. We're not going to sign this guy, but just fill in the gap. One more email. That is the results of the F2 and F3 races. Okay, we're advancing some time. There is the boardroom refurb. Evening, Army. Sorry for not saying hello last night. The chat wasn't refreshing, and I didn't notice you'd actually commented until the stream ended, and then the chat suddenly refreshed, and I'd missed a few comments at the end, so apologies for not saying hello last night. Okay. Get that new underfloor into production. You can see it's quite a nice little step up there. We're getting some extra speed, improving our acceleration slightly. Mute for a sneeze. We've also got a nice little bit of boost to downforce. Nothing substantial, just little bits, but a nice little boost to dirty air as well, and stripped a little bit more weight out of the car. So looking forward to getting those on. 7 days means we'll get one in time for Barcelona. Might not put it on the car, haven't decided yet. And then we will have more than enough for Montreal. Let's go ahead and make 4 of those. Go. And we can get a new project going. And we're going to do another research project, and we'll get an underfloor underway. Once again, we're going to use a portion of our hours. There we go. And let's see, everything's getting the reduction. I'm going to just boost the downforce levels ever so slightly on this. Actually, no, let's just keep the airflow sensitivity up as well. There we go. One engineer, and let's go with 2 engineers. There we go. All right, it is race day, so let's take a look. Have anyone else brought upgrades? Doesn't look like it. We are still looking very, very good in terms of speed, acceleration, DRS, and cornering, especially the low and medium speed, which is definitely important around Monaco. High speed's pretty strong as well, as only 5th. Dirty air tolerance needs a little bit more work. We can continue to refine that with future upgrades. Am I getting up at 4 o'clock on Sunday to watch F1? No, because I don't have access to live F1, and I'm not paying through the nose for it. Plus, I'll probably just about be going to bed after hell diving around about 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'll just watch the highlights on Channel 4 like I usually do. Let's take a look at Red Bull into preparing for tonight's race. Still got a nice little speed advantage over them, a little bit of an acceleration boost, much better DRS, decent increase in downforce over them in the low and in the low speed. Anyway, the medium speed's quite close. High speed's very close. They've got a slight edge in the dirty air. Still looking very good against their car. Obviously, their drivers will be a factor because they are better than ours. But if their engines don't get changed out tonight, then that should be good for us. Who else was quick last night? I'm trying to remember where everybody finished. Take a look at last night's results. So Aston looked pretty impressive last night. I do remember Gasly and Stroll getting some good recovery drives, and McLaren as well. So we'll take a look at McLaren and Aston. Could be a tricky race for McLaren looking at this tonight. They are definitely a considerable amount slower than us. They're definitely down a decent amount in the low speed and the medium speed and the high speed, actually. So they are lacking quite a lot in the cornering. See, they're actually ranked worst in medium and high speed there. Let's take a look at Aston. Aston have got some decent levels of downforce in the high speed and the medium speed, but they are lacking quite a bit in the low speed. And they are lacking about 0.5 kilometre an hour compared to us as well. We'll have to keep an eye on them, but we shall see. We should have the edge on the field tonight. So let's set some targets that are appropriate. So the incentive is 1 in the top 4. We are going to go both cars in Q3 and both in Q2. Finish position 1 in the top 4. We're going to go for the fastest lap. Finish position streak 2 in the top 6 for 2 races. Should hopefully get that done. And then we just need to qualify 2 in the top 12 tonight to complete our 5-race quali streak. That'll be worth an extra 1.9 as well. All right. We've got a wet Friday. And then a dry but cloudy Saturday, and then mixed conditions between sunny and cloudy on the Sunday. So let's head to Monaco.
Welcome along to one of the biggest weekends in motorsport, here in Monaco. F1 descends on Monte Carlo for the Monaco Grand Prix. A glittering show on the Riviera and a crown for whoever can emerge victorious here. Space may be tight and overtakes few and far between, but that won't stop the drivers battling until the end on this iconic street circuit. Monaco is famous for its many narrow twists and corners. From the brake-heavy Le Rascasse to the treacherous Saint Devote, there are no proper straights to speak of, and it's extremely hard to overtake here. It sounds like simple advice, but getting up as high on that starting grid as possible is the best plan of attack. Last round was a dream weekend for race winner Oscar Piastri, the Australian showing his mettle against the best of the best. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Formula One.
All right then. We're not going to put Ollie in the car tonight because of the weather. Just going to keep it nice and simple. Given that it is going to be quite wet, we're going to go with medium tyres in this session. And let's see. We'll go with 21 laps of fuel. Dropping those settings down. We need to change out the engines and gearboxes for practice. We also need to pay attention to whether or not the rest of the grid are putting in new powertrains tonight. We'll go with a 10, a 16, an 8.2, a 3.35, and a 0.65. Yes, a 0.65. Let's move over to Oscar's car. Again, we're going to go medium tyres for the first session, just simply because of the weather. We'll keep the hards in reserve for if we need to do some long running on the Saturday. 21 laps. Swapping out those engine parts again. There we go. And let's get a setup onto Oscar's car. So I'm going to go with a brand new setting we had last year that was a complete shock. We're going to go with 8.5, 15.5, a 9.1, a 3.35, and a 0.25. Let's see how that does. So both cars have had their powertrains swapped. Yeah, we are good to go. Let's take a quick look at the weather. Oh, yeah, it's going to get very wet very quickly. So let's go with a set of full wets. And we'll just sit in the garage until the rain actually starts, so we don't burn out the tyres before the weather falls. Am I going to be doing a custom team on F1 Manager 24? Yes, I am. Evening, Mr. Watter. How are you tonight?
Rain still coming. Yeah, copy.
So we've given up about 5 minutes of running. We'll have to readjust slightly.
Yes, radio check loud, please. A bit less curb. Copy. Pull the car. Copy.
Tyres are melting right now, but they'll be good in just a minute or so. And there we go. Weather is starting to fall very, very fast. And this is the wettest weather we've seen for a very long time in this career mode. And it is going to get wetter. Taxi Life got a patch, did it? It's good to hear that it's running smoother. I was reading Push Square's review last night, and they said it was pretty awful in its current condition.
Do you think you'd benefit from another set?
For now, no. It feels really good.
Copy that.
How was that run?
I think it's okay. Copy.
All right, so yeah, the setup we ran last year definitely not going to work this year. We need some work with Mick as well. I think we'll go ahead and call them in now. Start making some changes. So we're not too far away with Schumacher. Let's convert that to a 9-1. Let's bring the front wing down a bit to a 9.5. Go to a 3.2. And a 0.05. That's a bit too much. Let's give that a go. See how we do with that. We're going to switch over to a set of inters. And for Oscar, yeah, that's going to need to be a 16. That's probably going to need to be an 8.2. Push the front wing up. Let's go with the setup we just put on Mick. At the start. How does that look? Not quite there. Let's push that up to an 8. That all looks good. We'll go with that. See how we do. And again, we'll switch over to a set of inters. And there we go. So hopefully, these changes will be what we need. Rain has stopped. Track's going to get dry. We'll just stay on these inters to the flag now. Hopefully we can get the feedback in before the session ends. We should do with Oscar. I'm not sure about with Mick.
How's the balance?
96, big improvement. Just needs a little tweak.
That is the checkered flag.
And we just got the feedback in with Mick at the end there as well. Excellent stuff. 95%, again, a nice little step forward. Still a little bit of tweaking to do, but we're in pretty good shape now. So let's take a look. We'll go with the medium tyres for this session because we'll have had 2 sets of softs taken away from us in that last one because we only ran wet tyres. That needs to go to there. And I'm going to pull that. I'm going to leave that there. And that should hopefully be it. So we're going to run for about, let's see. Let's run for about 35 laps. Assuming the weather will let us run for 35 laps. What do I need to tweak here? Okay, so I need that to go that way. It's going to break that, so I'll have to pull that back. Not sure about that. Yeah, we'll give that a try. See how we do. Alright, so both setups have been tweaked. We've got the right fuel. Let's send them out and see if we can actually get some good running. We can get some running in before the weather changes. We do need to make sure that we tag these tyres so that we only lose one set of softs from this session and not two. Need the softs for quali in the race. Probably going to two-stop tonight.
Watch those curbs.
There is the wet weather warning. And it is going to be full wet weather requirements.
Yeah, we're looking at it, mate. Bit of rain on the track.
Okay.
Keep us updated about it.
And a little yellow flag there. I'm not quite sure what caused that.
Copy, military.
Looks very slippery.
Copy.
I wonder if it was Maloney. It's looking very slow. No. Okay. It's looking okay. We just need that last little bit of feedback. That's looking a little off. That has to be there, which means that has to come back to there. Yeah, we'll try that. Oh, I forgot to put the tyres on. One thing I would like to see in the next game that hasn't been announced yet is dynamic pit boxes. So your position in the pit box order is determined by where you finish in the championship, as opposed to just being static like it is now. I don't know if we'll see that or not, but It does worry me that if it's not going to be there and we're going to be the 11th team, we're just going to be at the very end of the pit lane for our entire career, no matter how good we do.
How do you feel about doing
96%. So we have got a problem that needs to be addressed with Schumacher. I think I know what that's going to be to fix that, so we'll leave him out there for now. Get a bit more time on track. And let's take a look at the rest of the grid. So, starting with Red Bull. New gearbox, but old engine. Same for Leclerc. Gasly and Stroll. Stroll is running a new gearbox, but an old engine. Gasly's running some more recent parts. New engine for Vachor, old ERS. New engine for Hajar. New gearbox, but old engine for Porsche. Maloney's on a new gearbox. Sorry, not a new gearbox, a new ERS tonight. Giovinazzi's car is looking pretty rubbish. Magnussen's isn't that much better. New gearbox. New engine and new ERS for Albon. New everything for Sainz. New engine and gearbox for Zhou. Bottas is going to struggle. Old engine for Ocon, but a new gearbox. Norris, the same. And Ferrari, new engine and gearbox for Perez. So we've got to watch out for Ferrari tonight. And Russell's on a brand new engine tonight as well. So yeah, Ferrari could be a threat tonight. But hopefully we've got the pace to be comfortable. It is going to be determined by how successfully we can cut through traffic tonight, I think. There we go. Oscar's car is done. Excellent stuff. Rain's going to ease off in the next couple of minutes. And that is enough running for Mick to go an extra lap or so with Oscar. And let's see what we need to tweak for Schumacher. Similar situation, just slightly different value. So that's going to have to go that way. That means that's going to have to increase that way. Let's go with that. And there we go. Practice is done for us for this session. And we'll be running the hard tyres in this session. So we want to go with about 25 laps of fuel, I think. We'll go with a couple of extra laps for Oscar.
Should be green now.
Okay. It's supposed to be okie dokie, but kind of tripped up on that one a little bit there. So, we know that Oscar's car is set and done. Just got to wait and see if those changes for Mick are what we need them to be. He's close. He's very close.
Is everything okay?
Okay, understood. Stand by.
Looking a little bit quick. Almon's up there as well with his all-new everything in his car. And now Max jumps up there on mediums. Oh, we've gone the wrong way. Okay, that is not what I expected to see. Got to fix that. Mick's car proving a little bit trickier to get in the right window tonight. So let's go with that instead. That's too much. Yeah, let's go with that. Keep our fingers crossed on that one. We've got enough time to run this to its conclusion. It's just more running than I was hoping I would have to do. Not so much of an issue for the engine or the gearbox, but obviously we're still on our first ERS unit, so we want to try and minimise the running on that where we can. And Oscar is done, so let's get him off the track and out of the way, out of harm's way. Can't crash the car if you're not in it. The Red Bull speculation is still rampant. Latest rumours out there are that Max is now very close to signing with Mercedes. I don't know how much truth there is to that. But it might be dependent on what happens with Horner. Current rumour mill suggested if Horner stays, Max will go.
Balance update.
And there we go. We've got the car set up exactly where we need it to be now. So we can call them in.
Great, really good.
And we are done with practice. Now we just have to wait for qualifying. So at the end of the session, it's Leclerc who's quickest. Have another little look, make sure he hasn't snuck in a new engine while we weren't looking. No, just a short run on softs at the end there. Okay, both drivers fully prepared. We'll go into the race with the maximum amount of confidence. That's good to see. Let's head to qualifying.
Qualifying is coming up, and the drivers will be ready and raring to go.
Qualifying means everything around Monaco. With little chance of overtaking in the race, getting as far up the grid as possible and keeping the car intact is every driver's goal on this unforgiving circuit.
Now, there's been a bit of talk lately about Oscar Piastri. Karun, how's he been doing?
They'll be feeling okay, I reckon. They're certainly doing well next to their teammate, and they're really proving their value to the team.
Hold on tight, because we're getting underway.
All right, then let's get those engine parts swapped over again. There we go. Right, onto the track. Had a couple of quick times at the start.
Green light. Concentrate on the tyre warm-up as best we can. Prepare the lap. Copy.
If Oscar finishes ahead of Max tonight, there's a very good chance that he will take the lead in the drivers' standings. Just 3 points the difference at the moment between Max and Oscar.
Let's take advantage of this clean air.
Gap between first and second is 8 points. Between second and third is 3 points. And then with the fastest lap on top of that as well, being an extra point, it's 3 points gap between third and fourth as well. So if Oscar finishes in the top three and is ahead of Max, he will potentially move ahead of him, depending on that fastest lap. If they're tied, I don't know. As it stands, I think Max has one more win than Oscar. So that would suggest that Max would stay top. Time for a good lap right now. Mick crosses the line with a 108.7.
Okay, buddy, good job. There's a box now.
And it's slightly quicker than Oscar, who was just down in the final sector there. That is Max coming out behind us.
Okay.
So we'll keep an eye on the Dutchman, see where he can stick it. Well, I can tell you where he can stick it. That Norris on his flying lap it is. Let's see what Norris does. Looked quite quick in practice. Completely going against the condition of the car.
Pit limiter on. Stop on the marks, wait for 2 seconds and switch off. Oscar, pit limiter.
Again, I'm hopeful that we can get through these first couple of sessions with minimal running. Norris is 1.6 seconds slower. Okay, that is a bit more like what I was expecting to see. Look at that, Stroll, 7/10 slower. Oh, that is mighty pace. I'm expecting Norris to improve a bit, but I don't think he's going to improve anywhere near enough. And if that's his true pace, then he's at risk of getting knocked out early on. Do need to keep an eye on the Ferraris as well. We're 1.2 seconds faster than Valtteri. So what will Max do? He had a clean run, no traffic, and he's 1.5 seconds slower. Ooh, that's a shock. To be that far off the pace. Please let that be the best he can do tonight. I don't think it will be. I definitely expect him to improve, but yeah, that's a big, big gap. Right, Russell now about to start his flying lap. Let's ride on board with the Ferrari. It's going to have Magnussen in the way, potentially. Perez behind him also on a flying lap. For sure, 1.2 seconds behind in 5th place. Leclerc on an outlap now, just leaving the pits. We will have to check in with him once these Ferraris are done. And I think Russell's just going to get away with not being held up by Kevin Magnussen here, who's now just started his flying lap. Yeah, it's not going to impact him. May even help him across the line. And Russell goes P3, just 0.3 off. Ferrari's running new powertrains tonight. They see Perez 0.4 behind us. As Leclerc gets ready to start his flying lap. If Red Bull struggle tonight, that would be fantastic. Not only would we be able to take the lead in the Drivers' Championship, but we would be able to take the lead in the Constructors and hopefully pull a nice little bit of a gap. Albon goes 7th with his all-new everything powertrain. But he's still 8.5 tenths off, so no threat from Alpine. Of course, these are just first-run times. There will be improvement in the second runs. We're not going out again. We clearly don't need to. Sainz actually goes P4, 4 tenths off. Good lap from Sainz. No, Albon's not running all new everything. It's Sainz who's running all new everything. Albon is still running new engine tonight, though, I think. Leclerc is going to have some traffic. I think he's just about going to get away with it. Leclerc goes P6. He's 6.5 tenths slower. That's more the kind of pace I expected to see from Max. So let's speed time up a bit. And let's keep an eye on Mr. Verstappen. Who is now in the drop zone, down in 18th place. He's going to improve. He's going to get through, but let's see where he ends up. Now he's 19th. Giovinazzi looking to improve. Don't think he did. No, he didn't. That might be it for Giovinazzi. Has he got time to go out again? If he goes out now, he's got time. We've only got about 30 seconds left to get out. And is that him coming out? Nope. That's Magnussen leaving the pits. Max is going to hit a whole load of traffic here, potentially. If he gets really badly held up, Max might not improve enough to get out here. There's a lot of traffic in front. He's going to get held up through the hairpins. Oh, please let Max get knocked out in Q1. That would just be amazing. Definitely got held up through Casino. Gets through to the chicane without a hold up. I think he's probably safe now. So he will improve, but will he improve enough? Gotta say yes, he should do. I would dearly love it if he got knocked out. As he crosses the line. And he only goes 13th. He's not safe. He is not safe at all. He's lucky that Ocon and Vashaw have already set their laps. We need to focus on Zhou, Pajar, and Giovinazzi. There is Hajar. who is behind Max. So Max potentially going to hold up Hajar a little bit here. There's Giovinazzi. There's Joe with a Ferrari in tow. Max gets out of the way. There are 3 cars on track that are still improving, or got a chance to improve behind Verstappen. We need them all to improve. Joe will be the first. I think, no, Hajar will be the first. And that is an improvement from Hajar. And Joe. Come on, Giovinazzi. Knock him out, come on. Oh! So close. So close. Max just squeaks through by the skin of his teeth. Alright, into Q2. Again, we're just going to try and run the once. Hopefully that will be enough.
That's green light. Okay, let's concentrate on that warm-up.
Copy.
Maximum tyre and brake warming. Copy.
And Leclerc coming out early. Now Sainz leaving the garage.
Clear track ahead.
And Mick now starting to wind up for his flying lap. And Oscar doing the same.
Gap ahead. Do your best.
Shouldn't have any issues with traffic. I think we've got more than enough space to Sainz that not be an issue. Oscar again quicker in the first sector. Oscar is quicker in the middle again. Will Mick take the final sector this time? Will Oscar make it a purple lap? It's a 109.5. That's slow compared to the last time.
Alright, so it'll be normal in-lap procedures.
And a 109.0. Mick's going to need to run again,
Run through his delta, stay
I think.
So cool.
That was not a good lap for Mick.
Yeah.
Both drivers were in the high 108s in Q1. Still quicker than Leclerc, but not by much. Now side splits us.
Pillins on. All right, mate. Let's stop on the marks. Wait for 2 seconds and switch off. Oscar below.
Max on his warm-up lap. I'm going to send them straight back out on the same tyres. Let's see if Verstappen is a bit more comfortable in this session, or if he's going to struggle for pace again.
It's all about your outcome.
Hoping for the latter,
Yep.
expecting the former. He's going to have to contend with Hajar, who is ahead of him on track and on a cool-down lap, on an in-lap. Depends where he catches him.
Clear track in front. So recharge off before the last corner. So gap ahead is good. That's good.
I think Max will get away without being compromised too badly there. Purple first sector for Mick. Matt goes P2. Traffic for Oscar. He's not going to improve. I'm going to abort that lap for Oscar. Mick, meanwhile, doing what he needs to get through. This should put him top. There we go, 108.9.
Currently sat in P1.
That's more like it.
Super's Blues will be coming in the pit entry.
All right, I don't think we're going to run again. It's definitely a bit tighter in the top 10 this time. Less than half a second separating the top 7. And with improvement laps to come, as drivers will slap on new tyres. Russell on his flying lap, and he's got a lot of clean track behind. There is Albon, I think, in the background, also on a flying lap. And where's Magnussen? Magnussen's just in front, about to start a flying lap, I think.
Pit limiter on.
As Perez dives into the pits. What can Stroll do across the line? On a set of scrub tyres. It's good enough for P7. Albon goes P10. And here comes George Russell. This should be a quick lap. This should be top 6. Third. So yeah, definite pace in the Ferraris tonight with those new engines. Let's speed time up a bit. Leclerc is the one to keep an eye out for this time. Oh, and he's late going out. But he is out in front of Max, who's on an in-lap, so he's not going to have issues with traffic with Max or the Aston behind. As you can see, fine margins to determine whether or not Leclerc will make it through. Hajar and Magnussen are improving, well, on improvement laps. Magnussen goes P10 and has knocked out Leclerc. What about Hajar? Leclerc will have a chance to respond. Got Norris in front of him, who is also on a lap, I think. No, Norris is on an in-lap. So if Norris gets in the way, that could knock out Leclerc. Hajar does not improve, so it is all down now to Charles Leclerc. Not on new tyres. And he does improve, and that knocks out Kevin Magnussen. So we're going to say goodbye to Magnussen, Albon, Norris, Hajar and Pourchaire, as Joe just bops ahead of Stroll at the death there. But much tighter there, just 3.5 tenths separating the top 10. So a pole position shootout could get interesting. Going to do 1 lap on the older tyres at the start, and then we'll do 2 laps on new tyres. Risk being that if we don't get a clean lap, we're going to be kind of screwed. The front row lockout here at Monaco.
Let's get those brake tanks warmed up.
Copy.
Focus on your front tyres and brakes.
Yep.
No one else coming out yet. I would have thought there would have been at least one other car following us out of the pits. That record in the race is a 109.9. Doesn't show us the qualifying record though. And now we get traffic just as we're about to start our flying laps. At least we're on scrubs.
So track is clear. You're good, you're good. Push now.
Mick is potentially going to get held up quite badly, I think. Oscar will be fine. Yeah, definitely compromised all the way through this little section here. And there as well. So this will not be a good time for Mick. but it will give him a baseline of confidence. Let's hope Oscar can get through without any issue. Although I think he might get compromised a little as well here. Actually, no, he's going to be okay. Again, big gulf in lap time. Schumacher definitely compromised there. Not a bad time for Oscar on tyres that are pretty well used.
Yeah.
New tyres will make the difference. Max starts his flying lap. Need him to have a poor qualifying session. Further down the order he starts, the better for us.
Coming for the tree.
And pit limiter on. So let's attack the box, please. Stop on the marks, wait for 2 seconds and go to P1.
And Max goes provisional pole with a 109.0. So now we need to get some clean running in. We have got a Ferrari just about to start a flying lap behind us, but I think there's a big enough gap for that to not be an issue. Mick definitely needs to find a very special lap. Take a look at his confidence. He's in peak confidence, as is Oscar. As Leclerc is sitting in P3. Russell now moves up to P2. Very close to Max's time.
Recharge off before the last corner.
Clear ahead.
Evening juice.
Good to go.
I know all about that. Had a former housemate who was just like that. It's been gone a year now and it's been so quiet without him. Alright, Mick is improving, but Oscar's going purple. This should be good for P2 for Mick. There we go. He moves up to P2, just ahead of Max. And now Oscar goes P1 and goes even quicker. 1.5 tenths quicker than Mick, who is almost a tenth ahead of Max. Got to expect Max to improve. So hopefully this next lap for Schumacher will be even better. Do I think I can win tonight? I really hope so. It's been a while since I've won Monaco.
No traffic to be concerned about.
All right, Mick is going to get a clean lap here.
Nice big gap ahead.
As Leclerc is leaving the garage, but he won't get in the way. May affect Oscar. No, Oscar gets through as well. Excellent. So both drivers with clear track to try and improve even further if they can. And that is a purple first sector for Mick. Oscar responds and goes purple himself. This is excellent. Mick goes purple in sector 2. Can Oscar respond? Mick has the edge. It's going to be tight then between the two of them for pole position here. Across the line for Schumacher. So 108.5. What can Oscar do in response?
P1. So
108.4. Look at that. That is fantastic stuff.
Currently P1. Cool the car on the way.
And Leclerc now about to start his flying lap, but he's going to have traffic to contend with. And Leclerc will be a little compromised through there. As Max moves over, lets Leclerc through.
Pillars on. Okay, buddy, you'll be stopping in front of the garage.
Might get a little fortuitous toe from the Ferrari across the line here. And Leclerc goes P3. Right, what can Max do? Max now might get compromised quite badly by his own teammate here. Oh, and he just gets through at the chicane, at the hairpin. But that will have slowed him down a little bit. Russell goes up to P6, ahead of Max. Perez in front is also on a flying lap. to Larascas. Max does not improve. He stays 8th. That is awesome. Russell is on an in-lap. What about Sainz? On an in-lap. That is your top 10 then. It's Oscar on pole from Schumacher. Half a second clear of Leclerc and Sainz in 3rd and 4th. Gasly 5th. The Ferraris of Russell and Perez 6th and 7th. Max down in 8th place. Zhou 9th and Stroll with an identical time in 10th.
It's race day, and final preparations are underway.
Monaco can hand out unpredictable results, just like in 1982, when 4 race leaders hit trouble. Riccardo Patrese eventually claimed the win after managing to restart his stalled car by himself with a downhill bump start. And the sky is looking grey and cloudy today. An effective tyre strategy could prove very valuable as the race plays out.
So as the drivers prepare to weave their way around the streets of Monaco, you have to think there'll be twists and turns aplenty.
Army's World says good luck. Thank you, Army. Fingers crossed we will get the result we want tonight. Weather is not going to be an issue. We are going to 2-stop this. We're going to go very aggressive on the opening stint. Try and break the pack. Build the gap so that when we box, we don't box into a world of horrible traffic. There we go. Going to throw in 1 extra lap of fuel just so we can push on that first stint. Going to explode off the line, hopefully. And I'm hoping for a very comfortable, dominant win tonight. There we go. Strategies are set. Let's send them to the grid.
The streets of Monte Carlo are ready as the drivers prepare for the 78 laps of the Monaco Grand Prix. You and I won't be the only ones keeping an eye on Oscar Piastri, Karoo.
They've got a fantastic opportunity starting on pole, but can they carry it through to the end?
So let's see what today has in store, shall we? We're here and the streets are abuzz at the Monaco Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
Right, we hold position out of turn 1.
I don't want you fighting. Avoid overtaking, avoid overtaking.
Copy.
Let these guys go.
Copy.
See Max going side by side with Perez there. He's going to lose out. He's on hard tyres. Max, the first of the hard tyre runners, along with Stroll, Albon, Norris, Porsche, Vasseur, Giovinazzi and Bottas at the back of the field. Only 2 other cars on the softs, that's Gasly and Zhou. Everyone else is on the mediums. We need to break away from Leclerc quickly, which we are doing. We're just going to go full sprint for the first 2 laps. We want to really establish that gap nice and early.
DRS currently P1. Car behind is Schumacher. Need to look after the tyres.
And there we go. So we've got a little bit of a gap to Leclerc, who's going to keep pushing for at least another lap, I think, to try and stay with us as long as he can. We do have the quicker compound of tyre. We need to build that gap up.
Okay, recharge on, recharge on.
He can stay with us, we're in trouble. So at least in the early stint. You know, things will still hopefully go our way as the race progresses, but we don't want him to come with us while we're at this kind of speed. And we are now stretching that gap a little bit more. Needs Sainz to close up and put him under pressure, which he looks to be doing. Max has dropped off the back of the Ferraris. Hopefully Zhou can harry and hassle Verstappen, get in front of him. He's on soft tyres, so he's got a good chance compound-wise of making the move.
DRS disabled, DRS disabled.
Copy.
He's going to have a look into Sander Bot. Gets alongside. Can he get the launch up the hill? I think he's just about going to stay alongside. And now he has the inside line for the exit of this section here. And he just drops back behind Max. That's a little annoying. Really hoping he would get ahead there. Max has got back into DRS range, so he should be protected on the main straight this time. And there you see the difference of Max having DRS. Joe doesn't even get anywhere close to making the move this time round. So we are lapping in the 113s. Need that pace to pick up a little bit more.
Just think about looking after this tyre where we need to.
Copy.
Trying to let the tyres cool down a touch. Leclerc's pace now dropping off. He's finished his push. So now we have the 8 to 10 tenths of a second that we needed. Joe still keeping Max honest.
All right, ready, push, push.
Copy.
This sign's close enough. Not quite. Again, we've got that pace advantage. Oscar 1.1 seconds faster than Leclerc on that last lap. That is excellent. That's what we need to see. Lazy Joe really is putting that pressure onto Max now, who has dropped off the back of the Ferraris now that he's stopped his push. What if he's going to one stop tonight, go mediums to hards? Or hards to mediums, as I should say. So we know from previous races we need about 19 seconds for a pit stop. We've already, after just 7 laps, got ourselves enough of a gap to get out around Pourchaire. Obviously we want that to continue to increase. We do not want to come out all the way back there. This isn't good now for Zhou, because he has got more pace than Max, but he won't have in another sort of 5-6 laps or so, and he's just accelerating the wear on his tyres being stuck in the dirty air here. So he needs to get through. We need him to get through so that he can then start holding up Max when his tyres start to fall apart a little bit. Already you can see his tyres down to 69%. They are overheating quicker than everyone else's because of that dirty air. He is just about close enough. He's got some battery available. He might be able to get the move done this lap. And Max covers him off. Little move to the inside to block the overtake line. So Zhou's going to have to spend another lap here behind him.
Okay, mate, let's try and protect the tyre.
Understood.
And the window of opportunity for Zhou is closing. As I say, his tyres are wearing out quite quickly. That tipping point in pace is going to arrive very soon. May have already arrived. Yeah, another good lap for Zhou there. So we're now in a position to get out around Albon after 10 laps. I'm going to switch these two round, I think. In terms of pit stops. Oh, shit. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. Mixed tyres are overheating a little bit quicker. Again, dirty air.
Let's recharge on.
Yeah.
Save fuel. Copy.
Pace is starting to drop just a touch. Still good though. Still over a second quicker than the cars from 10th down. And we've almost got a gap to get out in front of Stroll now, between Stroll and Zhou.
Recharge back on, please. Recharge on.
Copy.
There are a few gaps starting to open up in the chasing pack. You can see that Sainz just struggling to stay with Leclerc. Russell struggling to stay with Gasly. Perez struggling to stay with Russell. And Zhou now struggling to stay with Max. He is just about hanging on though. We ride on board with Pierre Gasly in the tracks of Sainz, who's caught back up to Charles Leclerc. Little four car queue now, as Russell has also joined the back of this group. And you just see Sainz having a little look at Charles Leclerc there. Not quite close enough. Track him all the way up the hill towards Casino. But he's not going to get through. Max has now moved away from Zhou and onto the back of Perez. So Max looking to start to try and make some moves of his own. We're about 6 laps away from our pit windows. Not really pulling away that much from Charles Leclerc anymore. Not surprising, as our tyres now have dipped below 60%, but the pace is still good. Still a 1:13.9 for Mick on that last lap, as Russell just dive bombs Gasly into Sandovot there. Gasly's tyres also starting to give up a little bit. still lapping considerably quicker than Stroll. And we've now got enough to get in front of Magnussen as well. Magnussen has moved ahead of Stroll. Magnussen doing 1:14.3s. Oscar needs a little bit more pace. But as things stand, we should pop out behind Zhou, ahead of Magnussen. It will be tight with Mick. Should be more comfortable with Oscar. Pit windows open up on the next lap. And they're now both on the same strategy. Must have not changed. Actually, let's bring Mick forward an extra lap. There we go. Now we're looking a little bit more comfortable to Magnussen. Again, he's doing 1:15.1s. Max still down in 8th place, dropped off the back of Perez again. Zhou has caught back up again.
We need to do what we can to recharge the battery.
And Sainz has got ahead of Leclerc. We missed that. But Sainz has got ahead of Charles Leclerc. And now Russell is having a look at the back of that Red Bull as well. This is excellent. More points the competitors take away from Red Bull, the better for us.
Recharge off. Couple.
The gap is starting to close a little bit at the front. Going to go on full attack now.
Copy.
I say at the front, I mean with Magnussen, the gap to the front is starting to close down to just 19.9 seconds now. Need to stretch that back up again just to make sure we do get out in front of him. We want that clean air. I was going to save the battery, but we're going to use it now.
Used energy. Copy.
Just to make sure that we do have the gap that we need.
No saving required. Copy. We're boxing now. Box. Copy box.
And Hajar has moved ahead of Magnussen now, but again, the gap's around 20.5 seconds. This should be enough. Take away the 7/10 from that. It's about 19.5 seconds, give or take.
Good entry.
So, Mick into the box. The
Okay,
gap is
copy that,
20
copy.
seconds. Back to Hajar. Need a good stop. This is a make or break moment for Mick.
Yeah.
2.3, that's a good stop. Could be quicker, but it's good enough. And there is Hajar, just coming into the bottom of the view. Job is done. Excellent stuff.
Okay, mate, let's keep looking after these tyres.
Yeah, copy.
Need to focus on getting the pack up.
Copy.
So Oscar might come out just behind Mick here. Or just in front, I'm not sure. Should be just in front. But he has run out of battery.
Save fuel.
Copy. Oscar pit there.
Copy. Overtake is available.
And again, crucial stop. Beautiful, 2.1 seconds. That's what we like to see. Joe boxes from 8th place. There goes Max. We are right behind Max. That's beautiful. And Oscar has kept his lead over Schumacher. Schumacher has kept position over Isaac Hajar. And Joe is going to feed out on a set of mediums, so he's two-stopping as well. And he's going to tuck in just in front of his teammate. That was critical for his race.
Okay, let's go recharge on.
Copy.
Let's look after these tyres.
Copy.
So back to formation flying for our two drivers here. And we are less than 7 seconds off Sainz in the lead right now. Oscar's tyres almost up to temperature.
And recharge on, recharge on.
Yeah, copy.
There we go.
Back off now.
Yeah.
So Leclerc back in front of Sainz. A gap just over a second. Looking at that tyre wear, I think it's quite possible that Leclerc might be one stopping. And Oscar is closing in on Verstappen. And Gasly boxes. Another soft tyre runner. What tyres is he going on to? He's going softs again, so he is definitely two stopping. Oh, it's a bad stop for Gasly. Problem with the right rear there. That's going to cost him an extra place or two, I think. There's a whole bunch of traffic coming. Porsche, Vachor, Maloney, Zhou. Can he get out in front of them? Has that stop cost him? He's just kept position. That was critical. I think he probably would have come out just behind Albon anyway, but he's lost an extra couple of seconds, but he has managed to stay ahead of Porsche. That was vital for his lap, for his race.
We can just focus on charging the pack.
Copy.
Okay, it's recharge on.
Copy.
Right, we need to get past Max nice and quickly here.
Use energy.
Copy.
Oh, look at that. Just straight up the inside, like he wasn't even there. Lovely stuff.
Keep looking after these tyres.
Copy.
And that is a lovely little boost of confidence. Now we've got a little bit of a trickier job. Getting through Perez, Russell, Leclerc and Sainz.
Focus on bringing the pack back up.
Copy.
Save fuel, save fuel.
Copy.
I want to make sure that we didn't give Max the DRS. Schumacher will get his way through on the next lap.
Energy is available.
Yep. Copy.
Do everything.
I'll be close enough
Copy.
to overcome the DRS. No, we're not. But Mick is through.
It's a slow.
Copy.
And we're forcing Perez to drive defensively, which means he is dropping off the back of his teammate. Means he should be easy pickings on the next lap.
Recharge on.
Copy.
Use energy.
Yep. Copy.
I doubt I can get both cars through, but we'll see what we can do. There's the overspeed.
Lovely stuff.
Oscar now into peak confidence. Mick stuck behind for another lap. That's fine. We'll get him on the next one.
Okay, recharge on.
Copy.
We need to focus on the energy now.
Sainz back in front of Leclerc again. Those two swapping places quite a few times so far this race.
Bring the pack up.
Touch and go whether Perez got the DRS there, I'm not sure. Hopefully we've got enough overspeed here to get the move done anyway. Perez didn't get the DRS. Mick sells a dummy. Dives up the inside. And completes the move through Sanderbot. Oh, does he? He will now. Out of Casino. And moves ahead.
Okay,
Lovely
would
stuff.
like you to slow down, please.
And now Russell has moved ahead of Leclerc. So George Russell having a bit of a push, trying to break away from us. Leclerc has now dipped out of DRS range, so Leclerc is vulnerable. Leclerc is very vulnerable.
Energy if you need it.
And this time Oscar goes around the outside. It's got the move done before the braking zone. Beautiful stuff.
Need to focus on getting the pack up.
This race is going so smoothly right now. All change on a dime though. We get a safety car. That could absolutely ruin our strategy. We'd have to change. We're in that window when some of the medium runners are going to be thinking about boxing, and if they get a safety car, they may well go hards to the end. Chance now for Mick to move up. And he does what Oscar does, just goes straight around the outside. And that move is done. Lovely stuff. Russell now into the lead, has got ahead of Carlos Sainz. Starting to see some movement at the back of the grid in terms of pit stops. Magnussen and Maloney are in. Magnussen has gone soft, so he's two stopping. So is Maloney.
Russell's pitted.
Oh, Russell boxes. Did not expect that. Don't know if we've got enough overspeed. We'll try. We're not getting that move done.
So take it easy in the fast corners.
Russell has gone soft, so Russell is two-stopping. Oh, is he going to come out behind Albon? Yes, he is. That's fantastic news for us. Meanwhile, we are going to blitz our way past Sainz, assuming Sainz doesn't box. He might box. We need to be ready to sprint so that we can drop Leclerc. He may possibly close us back up.
So recharge on, please.
Use energy.
Sainz staying out. And that's an easy overtake for Piastri. And he is off. Mick up next. Red Bull are definitely going to be quicker in the next Grand Prix. I'm pretty sure they're going to put new engines in for Barcelona. It's a quick track.
Overtake is available.
Let's push, come on.
Leclerc has been left behind, so we haven't got to worry about him getting a toe onto the back of Sainz here. And Sainz boxes, so he removes the problem overtake for us. Perez in as well. And that's hard tyres for Sainz. So Sainz is going for the one stop. And so is Perez. Right, where do these two feed out?
Let's go recharge on, please.
No risks.
Let's just keep it on the track.
So, Sainz out in 11th place, ahead of Ocon. Perez a few seconds further back. And that's a big lot of traffic in front of Sainz. Russell has caught the back of that pack, you know, from his pit stop, and he hasn't made any forward progress yet. And he's on softs, so he's now in danger of not, if he can't get these moves done quickly, it's going to ruin his strategy. He's going to lose so much time to Sainz. And we almost have enough of a gap. We will do by the end of this stint, have enough of a gap to come out in front of Hajar. Ocon dives into the pits. That frees up a bit of clean air in front of Perez. And he is one stopping. That is hard tyres to the end. Russell still stuck down in 10th place. And this is neutralising his race to our benefit. It's one less car we're going to have to contend with later. Albon in danger of dropping out of DRS range. If he does, he's going to be very easy pickings, I think. Checking confidence levels. Both drivers comfortably in the peak confidence category. That's excellent. They will keep their pace nice and strong. And I've got to say that I think Charles Leclerc is going to one-stop this now. Oh, Russell couldn't get the move done. And he gets stuck behind Albon for another lap. This is a disaster for Ferrari. His teammate on brand new hards in clean air is doing 113.2. Russell doing 114.9 on new softs, as he can't get through the traffic. Leclerc doing a 116 on that last lap. These tyres have got to be almost dead. Yeah, 36%. He's going to be boxing soon. This lap. And he is one-stopping. Hard tyres going on Charles Leclerc's Red Bull there. Good stop. Clean, quick. Going to come out behind all that traffic though. Can he get out in front of Perez? I don't think he can. So Perez ahead of Charles Leclerc. Russell has now finally got in front of Albon. So now we should see him close up to the back of Gasly and Norris very quickly. And then again, he'll get stuck. A jar is the cork in the bottle right now. He will be stopping soon. That will free up Stroll and Norris, but they're on hard tyres. They're going to keep going for a few more laps. Stroll at least. Norris is probably going to go for another half a dozen laps, I would imagine. And Hajar stays out. This is again slowing down that pack. This is killing Russell. And I'm loving it. How you doing, Clark? Good to see you. See all the traffic behind Hajar here. We've got about 20 seconds now. We could box and come out just in front of Hajar, who does now box. So, Stroll moves up a place, as does Norris and everyone behind. Those two still on hard tyres though. Norris is making the move. Norris gets through. Oh, what a terrible stop for Hajar. That's his race ruined. What happened?
There, Karun?
So the Alfa Romeo now pits. But they run into trouble and it holds up their stop.
Oh man, at a circuit like this, that is horrendous to sit there for that long. He drops all the way back behind Bottas and Ocon. 18th place. I feel so sorry for the young lad. He was on for a great race. We are almost far enough ahead of Max to box and stay ahead of him. We've almost got a free pit stop. We have got a free pit stop over Norris right now. Who has pulled away from Stroll. Gasly is all over the back of him. Russell still stuck. And the best of his tyres are gone. Gasly get through. He needs to. And he does. Sells Stroll a dummy. Feints to the outside, cuts back to the inside, and is off. Chasing after Norris. Russell will get him on the next lap. There'll be a big enough gap for Stroll to not have the DRS by the time they get around. And again, look at this. Look, see Stroll and Russell doing 1:15s. We're 1.5 seconds quicker. Russell's race is done. He's not even going to be in contention for the podium anymore, I don't think. He's lost so much time. Gasly has caught the back of Norris just in time for the DRS. Stroll is now vulnerable. He's been dropped just before the DRS zone. Russell has to get this move done if he wants to salvage good points here. He's going to go around the outside. And the move's done before they even get to Sanderbot there. Norris did manage to hold Gasly back, but Gasly's side by side up the hill. Got those soft tyres, better grip, better launch. And completes the move. So Gasly is through. But he's now 22 seconds behind. We need about 19-20 seconds for a pit stop. We have 19 seconds over Max, 22 seconds over Gasly. All the cars behind us, up to and including Albon, have to stop again. Sainz is the first car that is going to the finish. And we are 26 seconds clear, so we will box and come out in front of Sainz, who is being held up now in traffic. Can Russell get through past Norris here? He can. Little shimmy. Oh, look how quickly he's through there. That wasn't even a challenge. Just straight past him. Gasly's going to get blitzed very quickly here. And then Russell's going to start harrying Max. Pit stop for Valtteri. That's his one and only stop. Not been a good race for Valtteri. He's going to come out in last place behind Giovinazzi. And he's not far away from getting lapped. "37 laps to go, and we are in a commanding position now."
Okay, recharge on.
Okay, copy.
New fastest lap for George Russell. Norris and Stroll have boxed. Mediums for Norris, mediums for Stroll. They're both going to the end. Norris might just get out in front of his teammate here. Going to be touch and go. Stroll's going to come out behind them. Oh, Ocon gets through up the hill, or does he? Yes, he does. So that's not ideal for Norris, who's now on quicker, fresher tyres than his teammate. Both of them going to the end. He needs to get through to make the most of his strategy. Stroll down in 17th place behind Hajar, who should maybe hopefully be able to rescue some points out of today's race. See Gasly and Russell now closing in on the back of Verstappen, who still hasn't stopped. It's going to go a little bit longer. Is he going to try and stretch all the way for a set of softs? He might do. He stays out another 5 laps or so, and he probably will. If he boxes before then, probably going to go mediums.
Energy.
Copy.
Overtaking is available. Copy. You can push more.
Copy.
All right, will Gasly get Max? Don't think he's quite close enough. Not quite. He does get right onto the back of him. And Max, I think, picked his pace up on that last lap. He did a 1:13.0, so he's pushing a little harder. He's getting close to making his stop. Albon's going to be in the next lap or so. That will free up his teammate, Perez, Leclerc, all those drivers who are one stopping. Joe and Magnussen need to stop again, as does Porsche and Vasseur. And then Norris, Ocon, Hajar, Stroll, Bottas, Giovinazzi are going to the end. Maloney will need to stop again as well. Fastest lap is currently a 1:11.7 from George Russell. We will be able to beat that lap record of 1:09.9. I think we can beat that this year as well.
Careful on the energy.
Copy.
We can just focus on charging the pack.
Copy.
No more DRS.
Okay.
Schumacher's pit window will open on the next lap. And Albon is in. So this will free up Sainz, Perez and Leclerc. We should see their pace start to improve now. They did 1:14.7s on the last lap. Next lap will be quicker. Be in the 1:13s. Albon will feed out behind Stroll. Just about holds off Maloney. Needs to get his tyres up to temperature though. Last thing he needs now is to get overtaken by Maloney just before Maloney stops. Gasly has got in front of Verstappen. Max staying out again. I'm wondering if he is going to try and go for softs, you know. And let's see what the pace of the chasing pack is now that they're in clean air. Look at that, 1:13.1, so much quicker. Perez has got the move done. Perez moving up to 6th place. He could be in with a shout at the podium here tonight. Good Checo. Russell, Gasly and Verstappen will need to stop again. And they're only 9 seconds ahead of Perez, whose tyres are still in very good shape. Who's going to box first, Gasly or Max? Whoever boxes first is going to get that undercut. In fact, Max is in trouble because he's now out of DRS range. If they stay out under the lap, Russell will jump Verstappen. Gasly's in. And so's Max. Russell will be released. He'll have the DRS. Medium tyres for both cars. And Gasly has got out in front of Max. That's beautiful stuff. More points taken away from Verstappen. Where are they going to feed out? Norris is coming. Oh, they just can't quite get past Max there. That would have been beautiful if Norris could get through. There's still an opportunity. Max has to get those tyres up to temperature quickly. Norris is very much all over the back of him. There's a big enough gap that DRS will be available. Can Norris get the move? We've got a pit stop in hand over George Russell right now. Nearly 29 seconds clear of Perez. We only need 20. Come on, Lando. And he's going to get the move done up the inside into Sander Vaught. Gets the move done before they even hit the braking zone. That is lovely stuff. Both of those two going to the end. And now that is another car between us and Verstappen. Oscar is going to take the lead in the Drivers' Championship tonight. Who's going to be next to box? Probably Zhou. Or us. We might box before Zhou at this rate. That is the optimal lap for Schumacher.
So start to take the gap now.
Copy.
Box, box.
Understood, box out.
Recharge on, please, recharge on.
Copy. Focus on bringing the pack back up.
Copy.
Okay, Mick into the pits.
Yeah, copy that.
.1, that's an excellent stop.
All clear on pit exit.
And Russell not close enough to challenge.
Just think about looking after this tyre where we need to. Copy.
Perez having a look at Sainz, couldn't quite hold him off there. Sainz moves back up. Yeah, it's going to be very tight for the third spot on the podium, I think. Max has got ahead of Norris.
Box. Copy, box.
Let's push.
Copy.
So Mick's going to move into the lead. He will be giving that position back to Oscar once Oscar's made his stop.
Slow now.
Copy.
Mick is flying on these new tyres.
Copy
That gap has just been absolutely plummeting. .3 second stop. We've already got a 2.1 with Oscar.
Watch the pit exit line.
There goes Mick. A 1:10.0. That's close. It's not quite there for the fastest lap.
Okay, recharge on. Good job. Recharge on.
And there you see Oscar out now 6 seconds behind Mick, thanks to staying out those extra couple of laps. But still out in front of Russell. Max has broken away from Norris. Magnussen's going to be diving into the pits soon. Question now is, where will George come out? He's going to come out. Probably just around behind Albon. Just ahead of Zhou. It's going to be very tight. Zhou might get him. And there is Magnussen into the pits. We're going to push Oscar on the next lap. He's going to have 2 flying laps. And that is 16th place for Kevin Magnussen.
We can push more.
Copy.
Use energy.
Yeah. Copy.
Let's see how quickly that gap comes down. 6.3 seconds. He'll get some DRS to finish the lap off. Oh, I thought for a second he'd hit the wall. Got held up a little bit through the end there, but it's good enough for a new fastest lap. A 1:10.0 hasn't broken the lap record. He's going to have another go. I want that lap record. 109.9 is the lap record. This time, clear track in front. Oscar goes purple again in the first sector. Confidence is higher now. Purple in the middle. Going to have a much cleaner end to the lap as well.
No energy.
Runs out of battery. Oh, is that going to kill the lap? It's a new fastest lap. Was it enough?
We need to focus.
109.8, that is the lap record. Fantastic, as George Russell boxes. New soft tyres for George. He's going to come out behind Norris. Jar's got himself back up into the points. And he would have been ahead of Russell had he not had that horrendous pit stop. There you see, 109.960 was the previous fastest lap here by Carlos Sainz, the lap record. We now have that with a 109.813. Glorious. Shows just how dominant our car is right now.
To lift where you can. Copy.
Of course, I say our car's dominant. We do have that powertrain advantage, but even so, I mean, it's been a fantastic, dominant display here today. That will change when we get to Barcelona, but we are currently 20.8 seconds ahead of Sainz, who is going to the end. That is the next challenger. Where is Max? He's down in 7th place. He's 5 seconds off the back of Gasly, Leclerc, Perez and Sainz. There's a 4-car train in front. There it is. He is lapping a little bit quicker. Russell's going to be joining on to the back of that, though, pretty quickly. Past Norris now. On those new tyres, he's going to be quick. I don't think he's going to be lap record quick, but he's going to be quick. Maybe in the 110s when he pushes. he's caught Max already, look. There we go, 110.1. He's close, actually. Very close to the fastest lap pace there. And he's now all over the back of Max. Is he going to try and make the move out of the tunnel? Can't get the move done there. He's going to have to wait for the main straight. That's pretty much the best, and it's not the only overtaking opportunity, but it's certainly the best. Oscar starting to just reel in Schumacher. Schumacher will just pull over and let him through. Playing the team game tonight. And Russell just obliterates Max there. That's Max down in 8th place. That means he's only on for 4 points tonight. Oscar's going to take 26 once he gets back in front of Mick. That move is coming up.
Need to focus on getting the pack up.
Copy.
Lift and coast.
Copy.
There we go, Mick playing the team game, letting his quicker teammate through.
Copy.
We will be elevating Schumacher in the in the drivers' standings tonight as well. Let's just break the 1 second if we can,
Copy.
so that I don't risk tripping over each other. Got that little bit of extra tyre wear available for Oscar. Now we just have to hope that the F1 gods don't play a cruel trick on us. We've been in a position not quite as dominant as this before, but we have been in a position. Season 1 of our McLaren playthrough, our Mercedes playthrough, when Hamilton was on for a win at Monaco, only to get taken out by Hülkenberg with 3 laps to go. When he was trying to lap him. Hopefully there will be no repeat of that tonight.
Back off now.
Copy.
Let's jump back to this long battle here for 3rd place. This is a 6-car fight for 3rd place. And a real mix of tyres as well. Hard tyres on Sainz, Perez and Leclerc, mediums on Gasly, softs on Russell, and then hards on Verstappen. Sorry, mediums on Verstappen. All the cars with the quicker tyres stuck at the back of the queue. Ideally, I want Gasly and Russell to get ahead of Leclerc tonight. Take more points away from Red Bull. Not sure if that's going to happen though. We are 30 seconds clear of this battle. In fact, we can just take it easy on these tyres for a bit now.
So let's look after these tyres.
Got to watch for temperatures. They are getting close to dropping out of the window. So we'll have to turn them back up again at some point. He's getting very feisty now behind Charles Leclerc. Gasly and Russell both harrying and pressuring, trying to find a way through. Leclerc himself has been putting Perez under a bit of pressure, to the point where he's not really been in a position to challenge Sainz. He's dropped off a little bit here. Perez looking like he might be winding up for a move. He's definitely closer. Gasly thinking about a little look into Sanderbot, thinks better of it. Tucks back in behind Charles Leclerc. Putting him under pressure up the hill though. Can he get up the inside here? No. Charles shuts the door. It's now looking like a matter of time before Perez tries to make the move on Sainz. And there we see the tyres are now just dipping.
Come on. Let's dip it.
Is this the lap? Again, Sainz can't quite get the move done, but now Leclerc is in danger of being dropped as he's under more and more pressure from Gasly. If he loses the DRS on this lap, he will get overtaken. Our race is nice and our race is done. It's hopefully a nice boring finish for us here, but this is the intriguing part. Who is going to finish in third place? Moment it's looking like it's going to be between Sainz and Perez, but you can't rule out any of the cars behind. I mean, we know how good Charles Leclerc is, although his car is not in the best condition. Gasly's proved to be pretty quick in recent races, and he's on faster, fresher tyres. We know how quick Russell is, and he's got a brand new powertrain and brand new newish soft tyres on. So if he can get clean air and get a clean run, he will definitely have the pace to make the move. If they are going to make those moves, Gasly and Russell, to get themselves further up the field, they need to do it soon. Verstappen has now dropped off the back a little bit. Or at least he had. Probably got himself back in range again. 10.5 laps to go in this six-way fight for third. And we're just going to stick with this because there's nothing to see for us. We're just cruising right now. This is where the drama is. Perez has dropped off. Leclerc now looking like he might try and have a run at the back of Perez. He's too far away, he hasn't got the acceleration in the car. Gasly again having a little look. Not able to get the move without that DRS advantage. Kind of get the feeling that if Perez can just get past, he's got more pace. He's got to get past. If he does get away, get past Sainz into third place, I think the two of them will start to drop Charles Leclerc, and then he will start to go backwards. Gasly's swarming all over him right now, and Leclerc is struggling. He's driving defensively again. Is he going to lose the DRS here? He's got it. But Gasly's on a push. Needs a good launch here. Sainz looking to go through. By Perez looking to go through on Sainz. They're side by side up the hill. This is the move that could drastically shape this fight. Can he make the move stick around the outside? He needs to keep his car alongside. He's backed off and he's dropped back in behind. But he's not given up. He's still swarming all over the back of Carlos. And once again, Leclerc is flirting with dropping from the DRS. This could be Gasly's lap. Right on the edge of detection there. It's so close. I think he's probably just made it. And Sainz keeps him covered. Leclerc holds off Gasly, but he's even further behind now. He's going to have to work really hard to get back in the DRS this lap. We've got 7.5 laps to go. And this is masterful defending from Sainz here. He's been under immense pressure from Perez for so many laps now. Leclerc is safe for another lap. Got himself back in range. Max again has dropped off the back. Norris is lapping a little bit quicker at the moment. Don't think he's going to catch. Doesn't look like he's going to have the pace to catch Verstappen. Oh, look how close this is. Oh, and Gasly's got through. Gasly makes the move, gets past Charles Leclerc, and now that throws this thing into a whole new dimension. And Russell throwing it up the inside at the chicane there. Now goes around the outside through the swimming pool. And George has made the move as well. Charles Leclerc just lost 2 places in the space of a few corners there. And it's now game on. Now Verstappen is putting Leclerc under pressure. Hajar has got back in front of Norris. Back into 9th place now. The young Frenchman having a really good race. Just such a shame for him about that really bad pit stop, where he lost at least 4 seconds, I would say. Leclerc now vulnerable to Max. Max has the better tyres. No DRS for Charles Leclerc. Is this going to be a slam dunk? It is. Max just swoops around the edge. So Leclerc's pace is just gone.
Okay, mate, let's try and protect the tyre.
And still Sainz holding back Perez. We've got just over 4 laps to go. Is there yet going to be a late twist? I could pit and still be the race leader. Yes, I could. Not going to. Perez making a move around the outside of Sanderbot. That's brave. Can he get the power down up the hill? Gasly just crowding the back of the pair of them, trying to find a way through past someone here. And Perez finally gets the move done. Perez into 3rd place. Sainz's valiant effort of defence has finally crumbled under immense pressure from Checo Perez. And Gasly is all over the pair of them. The tyre wear is all about the same, but the grip level of those mediums will be better. Three laps to go. Will Sainz be able to get back in front? No, he won't. Gasly's still lurking, and Russell is right there as well. This would have been a slam dunk podium for Russell had he not been held up so badly when he came out of the pits.
Keep your pace up.
And it's Russell who's now looking the more aggressive driver. All over Gasly. Can he get through? Ferrari desperately need a strong result here tonight. It's not going to get through. It's 2 laps to go. Perez still ahead of Sainz. Sainz trying to fight back. It's all over for Red Bull. Max is barely hanging on. Leclerc has already been dropped. And Norris has now caught Charles Leclerc. It could go from bad to worse for Leclerc here. Both Norris and Hajar are on medium tyres. Sainz is vulnerable. As we are on the final lap now. Gasly goes around the outside of Sainz. Russell's not going to be able to do anything. He's too far back, I think. Charles Leclerc just holding off Lando Norris in the background there. Perez is looking like he's going to take the podium. Oscar wins, Mick in second. It's been a clean sweep for Oscar Piastri this weekend.
He's done it. He's got the win. Oscar Piastri is the winner.
Without doubt, a stellar performance, something that'll be seen as a real highlight this season.
That's pole, fastest lap, the win, and the lap record. What a dominant race. There's still some drama. Can Russell somehow throw it at the inside of Sainz going into La Rascas? Gasly's all over the back of Perez. It's going to be so close everywhere across the line, but I think the cars in front will hold their positions. Gasly pips Perez for the podium. Sainz just holds off Russell. Leclerc holds off Norris, but Gasly on the very, very final lap just gets his nose in front. What a finish. 42 seconds behind. But what a finish.
Now, wasn't it an excellent showing from Oscar Piastri?
An inspired strategy from the team there. What a well-deserved win that was.
And you love to see this. The whole team celebrating this magnificent result. With such a strong performance from Piastri, there's no denying that he's earned that place on the podium today.
And that's excellent, seeing both the team's drivers up there on the podium together.
Always a special occasion here in the incomparable Monte Carlo. They'll be pushing the boat out here tonight, no doubt. And down there in the Alpha Tauri garage, Karun, what would they be making of that race, do you think?
I doubt they could be much happier. A win and a podium place. What a great way to round out the weekend.
And thank you everyone for joining us this weekend here in Monaco.
Formula One will be back to Europe for the next round, on the shores of the Mediterranean, with some heated competition to look forward to in Spain.
There we go then, confirmation of the final result. Oscar Piastri, a dominant weekend for him. Picked up pole position, won the race, got the fastest lap and broke the fastest lap record in the process. Mick Schumacher, wonderful job from him, takes home second place. Gasly taking third place across the line by just 41 thousandths of a second from Sergio Perez there, who also had a good race, up 3 places to finish in fourth. Sainz hanging on for fifth, couldn't quite keep the car going for the podium in the end. Russell in sixth, Max in seventh, Leclerc, a bad race for him, down 5 places to finish in eighth. And then Norris and Hajar both up 4 places to gain 9th and 10th respectively. What a grandstand finish that was. And look how close it was here from third place back. Margins there, so small. Even going back here as well to Zhou, who just missed out on points by 87 thousandths of a second from Hajar. Almost got him across the line there. Albon finishes 12th, Ocon in 13th. Then it's Stroll, Magnussen, Pourchaire, Maloney, Vasseur, Bottas, and Giovinazzi rounding out the final position. Into the drivers' standings, Oscar with 26 points moves top of the Drivers' Championship above Max Verstappen. That gap is now 17 points to the good. Mick moves into third place ahead of Charles Leclerc with his podium as well. He is now 9 points clear of the second Red Bull. George Russell's points there move him to within just 3 of Charles Leclerc. Good points for Gasly as well. That last second win. Ooh, something special that was. And that moves him up into 6th above Norris on 53 points, 3 clear of the Englishman. No change below, no points for Albon, Magnussen or Stroll. Big points for Sainz, moves him up into 11th, just 3 behind Stroll now, and 1 ahead of Perez, who also got some good points tonight. Ferrari desperately needing those points. Ocon dropping a couple of places as a result. Giovinazzi down 2 as well. Pourchaire in 15th ahead of Bottas. Hajar gets his first point of the season. That moves Alpha off the bottom of the standings. Vasseur dropping to 18th. Zhou in 19th and Maloney down in 20th. Take a look at the constructors' standings. We move clear of Red Bull. A massive points haul for us over Red Bull tonight. We are now 24 points ahead. No, 26 points ahead of Red Bull. That's an entire race win ahead. That is awesome stuff. Big points for Ferrari. They needed those, and they're still a long way off though. They're still 102 points behind Red Bull, but that keeps them in third place. Aston Martin with some good points from Gasly move up above McLaren onto 77, 18 behind Ferrari and 13 ahead of McLaren. Alpine with some decent points as well moves them clear of Williams, and they start to try and close down McLaren. Haas with 5 points, Mercedes with 1, and Alpha now have a point as well. All teams now off the mark. Take a look at the pit stop competition, which I think we blitzed that as well. We did. Fastest 2 stops ahead of Leclerc with a 2.2. a 2.3 for Ocon, then Russell in 5th, Red Bull's Max Verstappen in 6th. So once again, we get massive points over Red Bull in the pit stop competition. We're on 232 points now. We outscore them by 20 tonight. They're on 179. That puts us 43 points clear. Excellent stuff. Ferrari with 10 points. They're in 3rd. They are 75 points behind Red Bull. McLaren move above Alpine by 4 points. No change in the standings below that. Mercedes still 6th, Aston 7th, and still no points for Williams, Alfa Romeo or Haas. There are the stops, a 2.3 and a 2.1, and a 2.1 and a 2.3. Let's take a look at our driver report cards. 3 successful overtakes, 0 failed for Mick. 1 successful defence, 0 failed. And for Oscar, 4 successful attempts, overtakes, 3 failed. No need for successful defences tonight. Was not under pressure from his teammate at any point, thanks to team orders. No experience for Ollie tonight, but we will probably get him in the car for Barcelona. And as far as the sponsors go, well, we completed the finish position streak. We got our finish position targets and the quali position target. And then for the guarantees, we got the fastest lap, both cars in Q2, both cars in Q3, and we completed the quali streak as well. 6.5 million. That is more than double our standard base rate. Fantastic stuff. So Barcelona is up next in just 4 days. We've got 13.5 million in the bank now. Money is certainly not an issue for us this season in terms of overall cash. Cost cap may be a different story. Hopefully we'll be okay with the cost cap this year, or at least go much later into the year before we do eventually breach it. Does give us the opportunity, though, to really improve our facilities this year. We've got plenty of money available and more coming in every week, every race weekend and every month from our prize money and our board money. Nice big bump there. So we can start thinking about maybe upgrading the wind tunnel, the CFD simulator, and the suspension simulator. We can now look at upgrading that instead of letting it go for a refurb. 11.5 mil. Not going to spend that money just yet. I'm going to let it build up a little bit more. We have got some parts that we are probably going to need to start manufacturing soon. Swap out these wings. The rear wing actually survived. I'm surprised. It did not on Oscar's car. And there you go. You see we've got just... oh no, it was the side pod that also went. We've got 1 spare side pod, 2 spare rear wings, 1 spare front wing. No spare suspensions, but we do have new suspensions in manufacturing, I think, don't we? No, we don't. Oh, we need some more suspensions then, and we need them quick. So, we got new suspensions. We could have put them on the car. Well, we'll put them on the car now. Let's make an extra one. There we go. And so we will be rocking up to Barcelona with new suspensions on the car for a little bit of extra speed, a little bit of extra downforce, but more importantly, a nice little boost to our brake cooling. Fantastic stuff there. New underfloors, maybe going to have one in time for Barcelona. Don't know if I'm going to put it on the car. I might wait until Canada for the underfloor. But our car is looking very good right now. Very good indeed. That is the weather forecast for the next race. Nice and cloudy on the Sunday. That's good. That'll help hopefully keep the track temperature down a little bit and slow down that tyre wear rate, which can be pretty strong here at Barcelona. Let's check in with the board. See just how much they're fawning over us after that result. Delighted, as you would expect, for such a dominant performance. And we've still got that cost cap showing on there, but we are looking so good right now. We are above our current target to finish in first. We've got 4 years to do our long-term objective, and we might possibly knock it out in our first season. That would be incredible if we can get the titles this season. It's been an interesting journey so far. We had a good first season, a difficult second season. We struggled in the third season. Last season was a really strong result for us. And then this season, wow, it's just been wonderful so far. It really has. Let's just see their confirmation lap record now held by Oscar Piastri. Let's take a look at previous races. We've got the lap record at Imola. Max still has the record at Miami. Hamilton still has the lap record at Baku. We need to fix that next season. Oscar still has the lap record at Melbourne from 2 years ago. Leclerc has the lap record at Jeddah. And Oscar got the lap record at Bahrain this season. Next up, Barcelona lap record is a 1:13.4. We will see if we can beat that. Fingers crossed we can. We do have the lap record already at Montreal, which is nice. Any others? We have the lap record, kind of, at Budapest. We set that with Lawson back in 2024. We set it with Yuki at Zandvoort in 2025. Oscar at Monza in 2025. Oscar at Cota in 24. Mexico in 25. We don't have the lap record at Vegas. Okay, that needs to be fixed as well. So there's a few lap records that we can go for this season. See if we can come out on top on those. That would be glorious to set some more records this season. But there we go. That is the end of tonight's stream. An amazingly dominant performance from both of our drivers. Absolutely thrilled with how tonight's race went. And it was nice to see Red Bull struggling a little bit. I'm expecting them to be much quicker at Spain. I'm expecting them to maybe have an upgrade. They're certainly going to have new engines, I think. So they will be definitely harder to beat. But hopefully we've still got plenty in the tank and can keep this winning streak going. That is 3 wins on the bounce now. No, 3 wins in 4 races because we came second at Miami. But yeah, it's still really, really good. Cannot fault that at all. We are top in the Drivers' Championship. We are top in the Constructors' Championship. And we have more upgrades still to come. New suspension on the car for Barcelona. New underfloors coming as well. Hope you'll join me tomorrow at the usual time of 8 p.m. for the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona. Until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Jim Bob, and I'll be back with more F1 Manager very soon.